Yo, I just wanted to get on here and share an idea I've had related to the Ambush official POW NFTs, but I think you could do this with really a number of different NFTs, and um, I'll share this example, but it'll make sense when you like think about other NFTs it could work with. So this is the Ambush official POW Reboot NFT, and there are 2022 of these. There's a couple of other less large collections of the POWs, including glow in the dark and Energon, which are they're all rings, though there is a chain or necklace. But my thought here is that one of the utilities that could be added to this, like worked on or developed in conjunction or in coordination with like video game companies, um, is that you could use these NFTs in coordination with in-game items. And the example that I'm going to give, because I'm most familiar with it, is Counter-Strike, which is a very popular, like, or very well-known game that has been out for a long time and kind of has been a early mover in like the skins world. And so skins are custom like models that you can put on your character's weapons in Counter-Strike, or even you can change the look of your character itself. And mostly it's a cosmetic thing. So there's not really like an advantage that you get from having the skins, but they're kind of like a luxury item that people that are sought after. And one of the things about Counter Strike is that the skins have like wear values, so you can get one that's factory new all the way down to like battle scarred, and the battle scarred ones are, scratched up and they don't look as nice. And there's different levels in between, right? um but they added something, a couple of years ago, where you could wear gloves. So like your hands, your character model's hands are wearing gloves in the game, and you can add custom ones, and they're pretty expensive. Like they're not cheap because they're hard to find. They're like a rare drop, and you get skins from different things, but you can buy a case and you pay like $1, $2 to open this case, and it like does a random uh drop out of a collection. And sometimes it's the rare thing in it, and usually recently the rare thing is either like a knife or some gloves, right? And one of my thoughts is that you could, like, it would be beneficial for Counter Strike, and it would be beneficial for, like, my example is Ambush. Particularly, I think Ambush would be good because the name goes well with the idea of a game where it's like an FPS first person shooter, like that goes well, where you have cosmetic skins that basically, like skins that don't make your guy any stronger or faster, but that just look better. So it's like luxury items in the game. And I think that this goes well, like this, the color style, the style of the rings, like there's literal stickers like this that you can put on your weapons in Counter Strike. So these seem perfect. And you could make like a special, either like you basically make these into a glove that it's like that's how it would initially work on your character, or I'm sure that just like adding to the gloves, you just like adding the gloves, you can add like a jewelry, like a ring or a watch or a whatever thing in Counter-Strike. But the easiest way that you could immediately implement this is you just make gloves that are the rings, right? And you tie, in my opinion, what you should do is tie them to NFTs like these instead of just in-game things, and collaborate between Ambush and Valve, who create Counter-Strike. They're the developers, creators, they own it, right? And so it would be like a Counter-Strike X Ambush, or CSGO X Ambush, or like Valve X Ambush. I don't know, however you want, however you're going to do it. The whole point is that you have NFTs like these rings, and they're connected to skins in the game that allow you to basically wear these in the game. And Counter-Strike is one example. There's other games like Valorant and Call of Duty, and like there's all sorts of games that you could do this with. Counter-Strike, I think, is just a good example, and like usually has been a trendsetter for a long time. So, and Counter-Strike, like, very likely will continue to exist into the future. It's been around for 20 years. I think it's going to continue to be around. Probably only just going to get, updated with better graphics and better this, that, or the other. But that I think Counter-Strike should tie skins to NFTs, and I think that they should also collab with fashion brands, right? And a suggestion to either Ambush, this is more of a suggestion to Ambush to like bring it to the Counter-Strike people, but that like, okay, this would be a brand that it would just, everything about this makes sense to me. Like, why? Like, I mean, just looking at the collection, like I could literally see right now, I could load up Counter-Strike and I could see my character wearing something like this. Like that it would be something put in the game without even without this even being a thing. And then the fact that these are NFTs that exist and there's this brand that exists, it gives Counter-Strike exposure outside of the video game world and PC gaming and whatever. And it gives Ambush exposure in like to a different, it like ties markets together. And, there are people who definitely would, I believe, purchase these. Like the skin market in Counter-Strike is huge, like millions and millions of dollars for sure. And like a good example of someone that people might know of is who plays Counter-Strike and who buys these skins is someone like Neymar. Oh, he has an NFT as his profile picture. How appropriate for this, what I'm talking about. Anyway, I believe this is his official profile. It has Batman and his NFT and 19,000 comments. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the one. And if we go to his inventory, for maybe someone who's not aware of, certain Counter-Strike or stuff like that, this is what I mean by like you can change the model, the skin model, is that you have like basic weapons, right? But then you can have these like additional weapons that they basically change what it looks like, right? So like what your weapon looks like in the game. And some of them are very expensive, like this one, which is they call it a contraband skin. There's only a couple like this that like are this are hyper rare like this, but this one's very rare and very expensive. Thousands of dollars to have this for your character in the game. Same thing, like, a lot of these that I'm going to click on are in the least hundreds of dollars. And it would make sense that you would also maybe have, because these are built into the thing, but to add value, I think like it would be wise for the CSGO people, like the Valve, to realize like making these into NFTs is a, you'd get creator fees from it anyway, but it would be something that would, there's a even greater value proposition in them. But additionally, like, you could then collaborate with actual brands, and then those brands can make NFTs that, you work on to make, like, you can have verified collections, right, of things that can be worn in the game, but that are actual, fashion brands, right, that are, known outside of the game. Because up to this point, it's not like the gloves that you can get are some kind of fashion brand's gloves. It's just, something modeled in the game. But it would make a ton of sense, and I think it would be wise for both parties. Like, it would make sense for both parties to do something like, attaching in the NFT collection to like an in-game thing. And you could do it. There's various ways to do it. My thought is that you like attach the wallet that it would be in, and then anything that, like, in the game, you attach the wallet, you connect the wallet, and then any skin that's a part of a collection, or any NFT that's a part of a collection that's operable in game, will then show up in your inventory. And then say you sell the NFT, if it doesn't register in the wallet, it's no longer in your inventory, and it moves to, whoever else. Or you attach it to your Steam account, because there's like, Steam is, this is another reason why it would make sense for Ambush to do this, or for a company to do this, is like Steam is connected to a bunch of different games, right? And so if you tied it to Steam accounts or something like that, you wouldn't need to do it for every game. I mean, they would have to create, models. Like, you'd have to, in the game, create a ring model like this, right? Like, if you want this specific one. And what you should do is tie, they should make one of each of these colors, and, who knows what you do with the background color. But in the least, you have like, okay, here's a matte version of this blue color, or a shiny black one, or a, these are the sparkly orange ones that have metallic like flakes in them. But each of them is different, right? And, you could also have the like I was saying, the ambush gold. Gold. Glow in the dark. I'm sorry. The gold ones are Energon, right? And so these would also be something. And then there's a chain too. I'll click that just so you can see it. So, I don't know why, like, that's not something, I guess you could include that in the character model thing, but, I don't think it would actually be that hard to just add them to the game, like, additional things. And then also you have these, these which are gold ones, and these would be the rarest, of these, if you did like Ambush X Counter-Strike, right? And so these would be the like most sought after, and I think it adds, like, it opens Counter-Strike to other markets, and it opens Ambush to this group of people who, like, people spend ridiculous amounts of money. I'm going through Neymar's thing. There's literally thousands of thousands. I saw, like, a couple years ago, they said $40,000 worth of skins in here. And you can only use them in Counter-Strike. It's not like they provide any utility anywhere else. So that's kind of the point. It's like, this is the Op Dragon lore. Like, this is very rare. These gloves, so this is what I'm talking about with gloves. You literally, like, if you attach this, you're able to wear this pair of gloves, but, then there's this one, right? And some people, you can see that Neymar has a knife that is almost the same color, so, if you have enough money, you can try to, like, color match and stuff. Okay, so it makes a lot of sense that, like, you'd have a glove model maybe, or you even just add like a ring slot essentially in the game. But the fastest way you do it immediately is you make gloves that are the rings, right? And again, I definitely think that these go with the color scheme and kind of like colorful nature of a lot of the skins in Counter-Strike. And, you know, this kind of stuff, like, it just makes a lot of sense to me. And I was saying, like, POW, there's literally, with this kind of like comic book-esque, cutout, there's Counter-Strike, I think spray paints, but I know for sure stickers that say like BISH BASH BOSH, where it says POW here, that are almost exactly the same, even almost the same color scheme. And, stuff like that I think goes well together, right? And it just makes a lot of sense to me. And so I figured, why not just say it? Hypothetically, someone sees this. I wonder if anybody would ever see this, but it would be yeah, it just makes a lot of sense to me. And I can't see it like making no sense. Also, you could make like ambush spray paints in the thing. And again, I'm using Ambush because I think the brand, like, just the idea of it goes well. Like, doesn't seem like something that Ambush would shy away from. Nor, if you were Counter-Strike, like, this makes, like, if there was any fashion brand that was going to make sense, like, this would be the one, right? Or design brand, fashion brand, like, it's literally called Ambush. Like, if there's any brand name that's going to go with your tactical first-person shooter, it would be this one out of Japan. Like, I mean, sounds like a dream collaboration. So, you know, that's pretty much my suggestion pitch thing. And, I've been thinking about it for a while. I'm sure that it could also be explained better, and there's all sorts of stuff you'd have to work out, but this is just like an overview on maybe what, like, to start it. And then obviously these things are, again, you would have to like sit down and like figure out exactly how you would do this stuff. Like, do you make, like, the NFTs that already exist, are those it? Or do you make special, like, a 10,000 NFT collection NFT that is basically, the utility is like the connection to Counter-Strike? Or is it just something that you add to the already made connection, NFTs that exist, and, those just become like really valuable to Counter-Strike players? And, that's legitimately, there are professional Counter-Strike players who also spend thousands and thousands of dollars on skins in game. And, they're streamers, they're rich people who have too much money around the world who spend money on Counter-Strike skins. So it makes sense that, like, a luxury brand makes like this in-game luxury item that maybe spans across like multiple. And again, I'm using Counter-Strike as an example because I know it. There's other games that I'm sure you could do this with that make sense too. I think Valorant probably makes sense. I think Call of Duty makes sense. There's other games that it would go well with. I just know Counter-Strike, so that is why I chose it. Other than that, it's my pitch, I suppose, my idea. So I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope it makes sense. If it doesn't, leave a comment. I'll try to respond to the comment and make it make sense. Other than that, hope you have a great day. Later. See you next time.